Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today is another episode of the solo progression. Now before I begin, I do want to say that I did end up doing some upgrades on live stream that I couldn't upload because the download got all messed up. But I'll just go over the highlights of that video, and if you want to see it, it is on a VOD on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/danzertv. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna go over my gear real quick and basically just explain any changes that happened. Nothing here, nothing here. One of the big changes that happened was in the middle of, I guess, randomizing the stats on a chaos ring with this reset button. I ended up rolling, as you can see here, 18% strength and +2 attack and -2 strength on the potential and stats. Now, I did a lot of thinking whether or not I wanted to re-roll that because obviously at unique potential, the potential will get re-rolled every single time I reset it. And I really wanted to recover the 2 strength and if possible get +5 attack. But I think re-rolling the 18% strength would actually hurt my damage more so than it would benefit it. So I decided to just bite the bullet on that one and keep 18% strength, and just take the -2 strength and the potential 3 attack power from the ring. Reboot Cosmos ring hasn't changed. Stone of Eternal Life hasn't changed. This is one of the items that I ended up cubing, 3% strength that totals to about 15% at epic potential. Ended up cubing this with some red cubes. I had about 800 million mesos that I spent in total to upgrade a couple days ago. And this is one of the things that came out of it. This stays the same, but it's also 17% strength. This also hasn't been touched. And the belt, I did touch it, but I think I actually ended up with the worst potential. And besides that, I ended up flaming some Pencilier gear with like 100 mil, 200 mil mesos. I ended up getting 2% all stat. This one I've already had from before. This one I also already had. This I farmed, and then I rolled 2% all stat on the cape as well. Now there really isn't many other change. There aren't many other changes that I made to this gear besides just the flames and of course the pendant and what I've already showed you guys. But I did ultimately decide to keep my Pencilier set and just cube those to epic 6% strength as I get more epic potential scrolls from the U Garden dailies. But yeah, that's pretty much my gear right now. As you can see here, I have 387 mil, and I would really like to get a better potential on my accessories. And by better potential, I mean at least 2 lines of percent strength or epic with 15%. Now I have 387 mil here, and I'm gonna see what I can do with that. And before any of you guys say anything about waiting for a cube sale, I do understand that not everybody has the timing when it comes to solo progression. So I'm gonna do my best to try to upgrade everything on this character without the events. So a lot of people are saying that we're long overdue for a double miracle time. Well, I don't want to use a double miracle time because that's gonna hinder someone else who's watching these videos months, years later, who maybe next one, decides to stop doing double miracle times or whatnot. But, I don't want to use an event that isn't always available. So I'm going to do my best to try to do this without a cube sale if we ever get one. But yeah, the first thing I want to do is this reboot ring to see if I can get it to epic or at least 3% strength. I would really like it to tier to epic, and there it is. And now if I can get 6% strength, I'll go ahead and stop. There we go. And I also get a little bit of my primary stat. So I'm gonna, out of these 3 items, the one that I want to focus on the most is actually my alien fragment belt. So as you can see here, I have 7% strength epic. So if I were to tier this up, right, this would have better potentials than the condensed power crystal and the aquatic eye accessory, and that 1% might be beneficial. I've already tried a hefty amount of cubes on this belt and it hasn't tiered up to unique, so if I can get 11% strength on epic, I'll go ahead and keep that. Otherwise, I'll see what happens with these cubes. Oh man, come on. Now, I've already made or tried a couple attempts at CRA on this character, and it honestly does look doable pretty soon. I'm estimating after there we go, we got unique, and 4% offset. So we did lose a little bit there, but it's fine because it's unique now. But for CRA, I've already tried it once, and it actually went pretty decent. Right now, I believe the first boss that I'll be able to solo is going to be Pierre. And the reason I say that is because I have extremely low boss damage and ignore defense, as you can see here, 73% and 85%. This is now my buffed range. And that really sucks because this is it's really gonna help improve damage in the middle of the boss fight. Now, the only way I can improve these stats is, of course, through set effects and potentials, right? So I have 30% IED on here, and damage on here, and then attack on here. I really don't want to roll over 20 lines of percent attack. So I think what I'm going to try to do is to cube this shield for 2 lines of boss damage and 1 line of attack, and then roll this one for 2 lines of IED and 1 lines of attack. Now I think that would boost my range significantly. However, I do want to make sure I have about a bill or so mesos before I do that, and I'll probably hoard for another week to do so. But as you can see here, this is my current stat, and I'm going to do an attempt at CPierre with just this. So just to show everything again, Link Manager is blank. Legion, I don't think is blank because this was not the character I played last. So I'll go ahead and apply this. As you can see, my range drops about 70k, I think. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the dog barking in the background. I can't do anything about that, and he's been barking all day. So trust me, I feel your pain. So I'm going to go ahead and enter CPierre, and I'm going to do my best to try to explain the boss while I'm inside. Oh, this is the real one, huh? Okay, well, it's whatever. It doesn't actually matter, real or fake, because I don't plan on killing today. But basically here, CPierre, I think is the easiest one because every time he switches hat colors to red or blue, you actually deal your true amount of damage to like regular bosses like Zachem, Horntail, whatever. Before, he does have defenses up and you do significantly less damage. And you'll see that here as I start this boss fight. But I'm going to start off with that, pop my buffs and my bursts, and just go to town. So you can see I'm hitting about 7 to 8 mil, and sometimes it goes up to 10 mil with my 5th job skill per line. And that's just because these skills are extremely powerful and make it very good for bossing. So I just want to make sure I don't get hit by any of the hats, so you guys don't have to hear me spam my left right keys. But as you can see here, if you get key reversed, it really does hinder your damage, so I try my best to avoid getting hit by him. But if I learned that if you hug a corner, you can actually attack freely for quite a bit, and then you just have to focus on dodging his attacks. Okay. That's fine that I get knocked back over here because I should be able to hit him quite well from a distance with, how did that hit me? With a demon impact, I believe. And this isn't impact, this is, oh, it is impact. You can see now I'm hitting about 5 mils without my 5th job skills, but I do have blue blood still, so you can see I'm about 2.5 minutes into this boss fight, and I've done about, I want to say 6% of his HP, maybe 10%. That goes significantly faster after he switches hats, and you guys will notice that as well. Part of this boss also is very reliant on luck. Oh my, I dashed into another one. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to buff back up. So once my blue blood is up, I'll be good to pop my burst. Then swing at him again. If I get knocked back, that's fine. Oh, that actually worked to my favor. The whole idea is to get him down to where he starts switching hat colors. Oh my god. Oh my, why do I keep getting reverse keyed? Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do my best to focus here because this is the slower part of the boss fight. And it's honestly a lot less realistic without Lynx and Legion. So after this run, I'm gonna show what it looks like with my Legion buffs and the help of minimal node stones, just for comparison's sake and for educational value purposes, if I can even call it that. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm also missing a couple buffs in here, so Monster Park Extreme Potions will help, especially the red one. I think I capped attack speed already without the help of the green potion, so it should be fine without it. But yeah, this will go on for probably another minute or so, and then he'll start switching hat colors, and by that time, this boss moves a lot faster. Because essentially my damage will have doubled on almost all of my attacks. If you have a pet here with all cures, that's really beneficial for this boss, especially when he starts tornadoing in the blue hat. You just always want to make note of that too, because it can prevent you from doing DPS, which obviously is a bad thing if you're just at the damage threshold to solo. And for some reason, alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and summon. And try to do as much damage as possible right now, so I have less to worry about once he starts switching hats. Now, once he does start switch hats, you really want to pay attention to the hat you have and the hat that he has. So you can tell he's blue because this will pop up. And what you want to do is to do your burst on him during this time. If you cannot, just try to do as much damage as possible, but you will. This is pretty much your biggest opportunity to do damage is during these hat switches. And if you have the same color hat as Pierre, you'll actually heal him instead. So you really want to watch out and make sure you're not attacking him when he's in the wrong phase. So this, you just attack twice and just jump back. And as I said, you may or may not get attack locked. So just be mindful of that as you're damaging him. And as you can see here, his HP bar has moved down significantly faster during these phases. And pretty much all you want to do is time your burst skills with his hat switches. See, in these moments right now, I would heal him if I attacked him, so I'm going to try my best to not do any damage to him while he's wearing the same color hat as me. Blue, he'll always be in the tornado mode, and when he's red, he'll basically just teleport around the map to you or any other player and do damage to them. So just be mindful of that. That's pretty much the one mechanic that he has until you split him though. So you can see he really likes blue mode, which I'm perfectly fine with right now because I don't have any burst skills up. Don't have blue blood open either, so I'm perfectly fine just waiting for him to switch hats. However, it does suck because if you get unlucky, you will lose out on a lot of DPS opportunity just because it's pretty much your only time to do damage to him is during these hat switches, and if you can't deal damage, you're just losing out on time. As you can see, it's about 11 minutes in, and I'm just under halfway, and at this point, you can pretty much just measure the timeout because you will be doing more damage for now. So once the HP bar gets to around here, he actually splits. So you want to do your best to do as much damage to him before that happens, and etc. So now he's switched. This is your time to DPS. And if he doesn't teleport, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and bind him here and then just try to do as much damage as possible. As you can see, his HP bar is really moving. And I'm hitting about 20 mil lines, which is very good. You just want to make sure you don't have any skills that stay on an attack. So if he decides to switch hats right now and I'm the wrong color, that could go really bad for me. But as you can see, I got lucky, and we have the same color hat, so I should be good to just do my best to burst him. And as you can see in like the last minute or so, I've already done like, you know, an inch and a half worth of damage, which is pretty significant. And you really want to reserve your burst skills until you have the right hat color. And basically a trick that you're going to want to do is in one of your bursts, you're going to stop him intentionally at this timer until you have your burst skills up again and the right hat. So once he makes a switch, you can burst him down again. That'll bring him to around here. And then it'll be easier because once he splits for the last time, he has 2 phases. And if you do damage to the wrong one, you're going to end up healing a ton. So now he's in the right mode, so I can do a decent amount of damage to him. Oh my god. So one thing I hate about this boss is the flying hats. So in this downtime, I want to really try my best to maintain... Oh shoot. Okay, so I have to close this down. Try my best to maintain blue blood. So you can see here, this is gonna has a reducing cooldown effect, but obviously since I can't attack him, I can't reduce that cooldown. So I'm really cutting it down close to the time, but it's all fine. You just have to make sure that you don't mess up the times that you burst him when you need to. As you can see here again, not the right phase, so I shouldn't be doing damage to him right now. And I have 8 minutes left on the timer, which is actually pretty decent considering the fact that I'm significantly under damage right now with only 5.77k stat and very low boss damage and ignore defense. So nope, have the same color hat again, still can't attack. So if you get unlucky like me, obviously you want to go for like one one rotation where you do burst and then one off, one burst, one off. You don't want to wait 3 or 4 at a time. That's going to really slow down your DPS, but there's also nothing you can do about it since it's all RNG. Here again, I have the wrong color hat. And I probably didn't need to toggle off Dark Metamorphosis because I can move around him pretty well. But as you can see, 14 minutes in and I haven't done the, I guess, amount of percent health I should be. If you want to go for a comfortable solo, obviously you're going to need to be a lot stronger. But that's not the name of the game here. I just need to be able to solo it. And I think I'm rather close. Oh my god, the wrong hat again. So yeah, of course you can't do anything about this if you get unlucky. Oh well. You can keep trying. Maybe you have one run where you have every hat that matches up. That would be astonishing, but yeah, obviously highly unlikely. So I'm gonna hope this is the one because I haven't attacked him for like a solid 2 minutes now. Oh my god. Another thing you can do if you guys are also doing this, join a guild that does flag race so you have access to guild skills. There's skills that give you upwards of 30% critical damage or boss damage, IED, nor regular damage. And those buffs will come in handy during boss fights like this. So let's hope that the next one is a good hat switch, and it is. I'm gonna go ahead and bind him here and then do my best to burst. So I'm gonna try to get him down to this clock and then I'll automatically stop. Okay, so I got the right hat again, but I don't think I make this timing wise, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it anyways because I don't want to run out of time. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Oh my. Okay, and as I mentioned here, he's gonna split once again. And then this time he's gonna turn into 2 Pierres, which makes, wait, what? Huh? Did they change it? He shouldn't have split, he should have split into 2. But we'll go ahead and take this anyways and I guess wait for his next mode to come out. I think that was wrong. He should have switched into 2 Pierres, but at this point, I guess not. Yeah, as you can see, boom, right here, he switches into 2 Pierres. And now you have to keep track of both. Oh, that's unlucky. But I got him down to about 30%. I still have 4 lives. I probably won't be able to do this because at this point I can only hit 1 Pierre at a time. The bright side is you will always have one right hat. So you don't have to worry about having to wait to DPS because you should always be able to DPS at least one of them. So ideally you would, this is so hard to control. So as you can see here, one follows me and you basically just want to jump to the other side of the map for the other one to catch up, jump back and wait. Oh my, that's what you don't want to happen. Accidentally healing could cost you the whole round. Now if you have red, just jump to the other side of the map and pray that the other one doesn't follow you, which it doesn't look like it has, because if it's out of range, it can't hit out of sight, it can't hit you, and you just want to make sure you keep it that way. bind if you need to make sure she stays still. Go ahead and toss this off. But yeah, as you can see, I'm about 2 minutes in, and I definitely won't be able to kill it in time. But as you can see, one has a very significantly higher, and that's what happens if you attack the one with the wrong hat color. But yeah, that's pretty much how I'm gonna plan on doing my order of CRA. I'm probably gonna start off with Pierre, Bon, and then Queen, just because Queen has a higher HP chat. I know I said I'm gonna go ahead and do them with link skills and whatever, but I don't think that's necessary. It's just showing the difference in power, which is significant, but at the same time, not relevant to the series. So maybe in the next boss that's a lot more tank heavy than this, maybe see Queen, I'll show off the difference in DPS for with Legion buff and Link skills, and then without, just because it paints a clearer picture. I realize now it wouldn't make sense to do it on Pierre because, he's significantly weaker, and you really won't see that much of a damage difference except for in my burst. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks so much for keeping up with this series and my solo progression on my Demon Slayer, in which I try to go from a character that had absolutely no gear but the beginner level 10 or level 30 weapon, and all the way to the point where I'm soloing CRA. I think I'm a little over a month now since the starting of this series, and I think it's helped a lot of you understand, the different mechanics of leveling up. And I know I said I didn't want to take advantage of events, and I took advantage of these rings. But there's only so much I can do and not do, and if without these rings I wouldn't have 4 rings, and that would make this series even harder than it already is. I'm not trying to make that as an excuse, because I literally said I want to make sure everyone has a chance to kill it, but yeah, there's only so much I can do upgrade wise, and these rings are also out very frequently in events, which is why I'm going to justify my use in them. But yeah, enough of me trying to explain myself, blah, blah, blah. I just want to close out this video and say thanks once again, and as always, guys, happy mapling. Peace!